against the black community. We're not just telling you, oh, eat pork, don't eat pork and you'll go to a magical place in the sky. We're telling you don't eat pork so maybe you'll live to 70, which is what's promised by God in the Bible.
Right.
We're telling you to stop selling drugs so maybe you won't get shot on the corner. We're telling you to stay with your husband because the next man you get might be a child molester.
Shalom, Israel. And when I mean Israel, I'm talking about the black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. The Lord's 54th annual Passover is going down again this year, sundown, April 1st at 500 South Salisbury Street in Raleigh, North Carolina at the Downtown Conventional Center. It's got enough room for all of us. The Lord's 54th annual Passover. Last year, brothers and sisters showed up from all over the world, rocking ancient garments and glorious apparel in order to serve the Most High in Christ. Now, it's that time again. Commander General YAHANNA is putting out the decree for all brothers and sisters to show up sundown, April 1st in Raleigh, North Carolina. Join us at the Sheraton in Raleigh, the hotel right downtown. It's at 421 South Salisbury. The Passover is right up the block at the Convention Center, literally within walking distance. Make sure you pull up. Make sure that you do your due diligence because rooms are going fast and they are limited this weekend. You understand? We have months in advance of preparation. Do not wait till the last minute to get your room. The Lord's 54th annual Passover, Saturday, April 1st in Raleigh, North Carolina. Join us there.
It's about time. One of the generals in this school is a SWAT trainer. He used to train SWAT officers. He did just like you brothers and sisters did, walked by this camp, saw what these men were doing, he quit his job, now he runs his own security company. Give General Hazai on the hand. Okay? That's what you should be doing. Give me Exodus 20 and 2. That's what you should be doing. You should learn to love God and who to follow. Let me know when you got it. You should learn to love God and who to follow and how to properly follow after God. When you love God, right? You'll know what to do. Read.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 2.
Now, how many know what Exodus chapter 20 is? What is so important about Exodus chapter 20? Can a Christian tell me? I bet not. Exodus chapter 20 is probably the only Bible verse y'all Christians know, and y'all don't even know where to find it. Exodus 20 is the 10 commandments. Okay? But y'all Christians aren't taught that. Y'all just taught to obey these 10 and forget about everything else. You know, there's laws in the Bible that are very integral to life. Workers' comp is in the Bible. The Bible, what you call the law, is actually a law system. If I have an employee, they get hurt on my job site, without the law, I can just tell him kick rocks. But under the law, no, I have to pay him for his service even though he can't work because he got injured on my site. That's in the Bible. That's where the government today gets it from. Read on.
I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
Out of what?
The house of bondage.
What is the house of bondage? Slavery. That brother right there is enslaved to a goddamn plant known as marijuana.
Right.
Okay? He is in the house of bondage. We are black and Hispanic men that are here to take our people out of that bondage. You think it's an accident? We have our campsite next to where all the drug addicts are? That's not an accident, brother. It is not an accident. You know why? Because our king, our leader, a black man by the name of Jesus Christ, said we are to go to the first shall be last and the last shall be first. Okay? These people that you see destroyed on these streets are the same people we are here to save. Okay? There was a time, during the time of Peter, you'll read, come to find out, Peter didn't want to deal with the police. Peter didn't like the police because he understood even back then the police were evil against us. But God sent a vision to a brother who was a police officer. And God said, go and talk to Peter. God had to then go and talk to Peter and say, what I make clean, no man call common. And he had to go and he had to love that police officer and let that police officer in the fold, which taught us to do the same. And now one of our brothers has a security company. Right? Because what? We learn to follow the Most High God. Read on.
Thou shalt not have no other gods before me.
We're not supposed to put any power before before God. What is a power before God? Oh. What is a power before God? Okay, a power or God is basically what? Weed. Whatever you think will make you good. Whatever you think will make you higher. That brother is over here saying that he is a goddamn God, yet his life is dictated by a plan. A portion of his income is forced, mentally, he is forced to give a portion of his income to a drug. Right? That is what it means to have no God before me. Putting yourself up as a God is putting a God before God, the Most High. Okay? He's the one that brought us out of the bondage that we are in. Okay? And we owe it to him to do what he says. Read.
Verse 4. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth.
And that's what our people do. We choose all these things on the planet to make us greater. Okay? Those 5 officers in Memphis were so proud of their policeman's badge. Their wives probably go around right now, well, used to go around saying, my husband is a cop. I am so proud of my husband. I bet those wives are ashamed now. Your husband is a murderer. But here's the thing. Your husband was always a murderer. Your husband was always standing with a system of murder. Okay? And that's the problem. Our people don't realize that. Our people don't realize that we are supporting a system and making a God out of this white man's system.
Right.
Okay? Read on.
Verse 5. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them.
Now, hold up. You shall not bow down yourself to them. You put yourself underneath this policeman system. You put yourself underneath their ideals. What's their ideals? To hurt black people. How do I know that even though it's 5 cops, this is still a racist incident? How do I know? Anybody want to give me the answer? The answer is a question. Okay? Because these brothers are under something called the Scorpion Unit. I forgot the official name of it, but it's an acronym, abbreviation or whatever. Right? He's not the only brother, Tyree is not the only brother to have problems with this unit. But I got a question. Notice I said brother, right? Why aren't Asians getting beat by these people? Why hasn't a white boy gotten beat by a drug unit? By a gun unit? Why is it always, you know, white people do drugs, right? White people do most of the meth for black people is a new thing. Most meth heads about 20, we'll say 10 years ago, was a white drug. Methamphetamine was a white drug. But yet and still, we also always constantly see black people beaten by the police. It's never what's called white people. So when they try to say it's all black officers, so this isn't racially motivated, that's a lie. Because I want to see some black cops beat up a white officer. And you know the sad thing is, even before I heard about Tyree Nichols, I was asking myself that. Why is it you never see a black officer beating a white man? Right. And I'm not saying, here's the thing, I'm not advocating violence. If you're a cop right now listening to me or whatever, do not go around beating white people. Right? But I'm saying, if it's a systemic problem, it has nothing to do with race, why aren't white people getting beat? Why aren't East Indians getting beat? Why aren't Native Africans getting beat? You know why? Because it is race-based. Right? Read on.
Nor serve them.
Nor serve them. You serve the system. And what does the system do? Beat black people. So that's what you do. Read on.
For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquities of the fathers upon the children unto the 3rd and 4th generation of them that hate me.
And you know why we have all this death inside our communities? Not even just from the police, but from each other, from drug addiction, from abortion, from what's called bad health. You know why? Because we hate God. And when you hate God, you are punished for your hatred up until your children. Your 3rd and 4th generation is talking about your great-grandkids. Right. God will punish your great-grandchildren for the hatred you have for him. Right? That's what the Bible is saying inside the 10 Commandments. How many of y'all know that God will hate you if you don't listen to him? But I thought God is all love, Christian. Read on.
Verse 6.
Now this is why we're out here. Read.
and showing mercy.
What?
Mercy.
What?
Mercy.
We're trying to give that brother mercy that happened to a minute ago. We gave him so much mercy, we told him multiple times to back away from us. Back up, back up, back up. He didn't listen. Well, guess what? We showed him more mercy. When we got him on the ground, we didn't do him like any other black man would. We showed that brother mercy. When the police asked if we want to press charges, we said no. We showed that brother mercy. We don't come on these streets to be antagonistic to black people. We don't come on these streets to hate black people. We come on these streets to be merciful to black people, which is what we learned from God in the Bible. But we should instead of listening to that, we should listen to the pothead trying to tell us he's God. How about we listen to God and continue with our food program? And give this brother over here a hand, paratasa. He did not stop the food program. Do you know why? Let's give the Most High a hand, because you can't stop God's program.
Right.
And that's the truth. Read on.
Unto them, verse 6, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me.
That what?
That love me.
That what?
That love me.
A drug addict does not love God. Keep going.
And keep my commandments.
And keep what?
My commandments.
Did they teach you this in church?
My commandments.
Did your pastor tell you interracial marriages is an evil sin to God? Did your pastor tell you being a drug addict is a sin to God? Did your pastor tell you that what's called aborting your child is a sin to God? Right? Your pastor probably didn't even tell you there's certain foods you can't eat according to God. Okay? Now, drop that. Give me a Deuteronomy 28:1. Now, that's the problem with our people. Our people don't want to realize we're out here to fix the community. They want to come up against us as we go out and do the work to actually fix black and Hispanic lives. Let me know when you got it.
Got it.
Okay, we're out here to teach black people how to fix our condition. Read on.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Now that's the goal. That's what that brother was trying to stop. We're trying to fix black people so that black people can be above all people.
Right.
We are trying to reverse the evil work that Martin Luther King did to Harlem. Okay, we are trying to make every business in Harlem black again.
Right.
But you know what? We need employees. So half of Harlem can't be drug addicts.
Right.
We need people who know how to run businesses. So instead of them selling drugs, we need them to, stop selling drugs and learn how to do good, righteous business. Okay? That's how you fix the black community. We're not just telling you, don't eat pork and you'll go to a magical place in the sky. We're telling you, don't eat pork, so maybe you'll live to 70, which is what's promised by God in the Bible.
Right.
We're telling you to stop selling drugs, so maybe you won't get shot on the corner. We're telling you to stay with your husband, because the next man you get might be a child molester.
Right.
That's what we're telling you. We're telling you universal, practical knowledge.
So be